This is Michelle with Gaming Cypher and a new review. Silent Hope, developed by Marvelous and published by Xseed Games and Marvelous, is a dungeon crawler RPG full of hack and slash action with lots of opportunities to collect treasure. The story begins when the king of a land set in the Rune Factory universe steals his people's voices because he doesn't like what they're saying. He then jumps into a mysterious chasmy abyss for mysterious reasons to save his kingdom from even more mysterious reasons. His daughter copes with this by crying until she becomes encased in her own crystallized tears. One day, 7 rainbow lights fly out of the abyss. Twist! These lights are actually 7 heroes, who may have been called by the princess, may have been sent by the king. It's unclear. But the heroes have one thing in common. They can hear the princess's voice in their heads. This is a full-on blurse, because while it means they can help restore the kingdom, it also means they have to listen to the princess say every thought she thinks. I actually completely understand why the 7 heroes are so willing to literally dive face first into the abyss, because it's the only time the princess can't talk. And thus begins the grind. If you've ever been disappointed by the Rune Factory fight mechanics, then Silent Hope is for you. The gameplay revolves around 2 core principles: rise and grind, baby. Functionally, the game is split between 2 main areas, the abyss and the base camp. Players will spend their time grinding levels in the dungeons and then grinding turnips at the farm. Players can only select one of the 7 characters, each with a distinct class, to enter the abyss at a time. Each character has a unique combat style ranging from ranged weapons to heavy weapons to punch-em-up fists to pitchforks. At first, I was nervous about how much time and effort it would take to level each character, but honestly, I think the game helps players achieve this quite nicely. While only one character can enter the abyss at a time, players can switch out characters whenever they find one of the princess's teardrops. This means that players can completely deplete one character's health and potions, then switch to a new one and keep going in the dungeon. This also means that each character gets played roughly the same-ish amount of time and therefore levels up with the rest of the pack. It is entirely possible to play this game with only a single character. You can put all of your efforts into maxing out one character's stats and just tearing through the dungeons. But I found it fun to switch between all of them. I liked how each one, from the caster to the fighter, forced me to adjust my playstyle. And I genuinely enjoyed each character's special attacks. I also found that switching between fight styles helped hold off the tedium that can set in with this game. The non-stop hack and slash mechanics walk a fine balance between relaxing and boring. As gamers descend deeper into the chasm, they will find new challenges, secret rooms, and hordes of monsters, all of which come down to the same idea: kill all of the things. And keep killing until you perish, reach a checkpoint, or use a teleport crystal to return to base camp. And then once you're back at base camp, grind that farm. Base camp is my only actual complaint about the game. Yes, I know, I was bad-mouthing the princess earlier, but she's really not that bad. While it is super easy to craft and upgrade equipment, it is unnecessarily clunky to actually compare current equipment stats with the stuff brought back from the abyss. There is no easy compare feature, and players will have to repeatedly exit out of the change equipment screen to the check storehouse screen. In all honesty, this is a very minor thing and much more of an annoyance than an actual problem with the gameplay, but it is weird to me that the devs didn't invest in this sort of user interface. Overall, 8 out of 10. If you enjoy a relaxed and casual dungeon crawling experience with a focus on looting and grinding characters, then Silent Hope is for you. Going in with realistic expectations will set you up for success. This is not a farming sim. This is not a dating sim. This is a dungeon crawler, which was exactly what I happened to be in the mood for when I started playing it on my Steam Deck during a 5-hour flight. This is a great game to zone out with, so boot up, put on a podcast, watch the new season of the Great British Baking Show, and enjoy a lazy Saturday afternoon. Silent Hope is available now on Steam and Nintendo Switch.